Hey, what's going on, everyone? I hope all of you are doing well. So, hope everyone had a great weekend and hope everyone's week is starting off really good. So, this is going to be my review and my thoughts on Happy Gilmore 2. So, the long awaited sequel to Happy Gilmore is finally upon us. And I watched it this past weekend, and I gotta say, I really enjoyed it. Now, as you can tell from the title, and I'm going to give you guys a forewarning, there will be spoilers in here. So if you have not watched the film, go watch it and then come back. But for those of you who have watched it and you're staying for the spoilers, thank you. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, the plot of this film, we see Happy, he's had a successful career golfing. He's gotten multiple gold jackets, multiple brand deals, and just life seems to be great. He's had kids, and well, during one of his games, his ball strikes his wife and she gets killed. Of course, the actress from the first film who played the love interest does return, and she does play the wife that eventually gets killed, which is a complaint to a lot of people. Me personally, it, I would say I'm just a little disappointed, but I guess I can understand in some way. Um, but what can you do? I think it was more of a fan service than anything for that, but it was still nice to have her return. And basically, because of this accident, he is pretty much down on his luck. He doesn't golf anymore, he can't hit. He loses, basically all the money. He loses his house, everything. He moves into this really beat down house with his kids who, at this point are now older. One of them is played by his real life daughter, and the rest of the cast, the boys, at least two are, recognizable faces. One being the actor who plays Carl Gallagher from Shameless, and the other is AEW wrestler MJF. And he's just having a hard time. He's drinking alcohol. He's becoming an alcoholic basically, and just doesn't want to golf. And his daughter has an opportunity to go to Paris for this dance school, and the only way for him to get this is to basically get back into golfing. He is approached by this individual who wants to put a spin on golf, and he becomes like the villain of the film. He's got like terrible breath. He's just in some way full of himself, and he, wanted to get Sandler to join his team. He Happy denies and stuff like that. So one thing leads to another where he decides to get a shooter, and yeah, that whole scene with Shooter, coming back into the picture is pretty funny, at least. There's a lot more I won't state, but it's just trying to for him to get his groove back so he can win it and get that money. You know, get the money so he can take his daughter to this, dance school in Paris. I like the soundtrack. I will state that the soundtrack for this was absolutely amazing. The cameos were fantastic. I think the cameos blended really well. There was a lot of familiar faces. There were some returning faces from the first film, and I think it blended really nice. It wasn't like clustered like you would expect in a lot of movies. Still better than Jack and Jill, and I feel like it took us away from the crazy world and brought us back to a time that just was not stressful and was fantastic. It is a long movie. It's about 2 hours. Does it need to be 2 hours? No. Now, mind you, everybody's sense of humor is going to be different, so you may not laugh at some of the jokes. I was laughing all the way through the entire film, and if you can do that for me, if a film could do that to me, then it's definitely worth it, in my opinion. Just a lot of great moments in the film, and all in all, I thought it was a fantastic sequel. I know a lot of these legacy sequels, or just sequels that take over 20 years to make can be a miss. And I feel like this is kind of either or. You could take it or leave it. Um, but I still think it's better than Jack and Jill. I might say that a few times. Now there are some WWE stars as Nikki Bella and um, Becky Lynch have appearances in this, and then a few other like real life golfers. They have some small appearances in this as well, and there are some nice references and callbacks to the original, some flashback scenes. Now, I will state this. So, this film originally intended to have Carl Weathers in it, but unfortunately, due to the passing of Carl Weathers, Adam Sandler actually had to do a complete rewrite for this film. So, the original script and what we got would have been completely two different things. It was stated in an interview that changes had to be made, but they still wanted to give, a nice tribute to him. And there's another nice tribute to another actor who sadly passed that he has worked with. Actually, a couple. There's actually a couple, which is cool. You've got, what is his name? Haley Joel Osment. He's in this, who's fantastic. It's great to see him make a return to acting. I know he's been acting probably the past 10 years or so, it's nice to see him start to come back and be in these films left and right. I still would like to see him do a movie together do a movie with his sister together, because I've always been a fan of his sister as well. So who knows? Hopefully one day we'll see it. Maybe he'll guest star on, the George and Mandy, or whatever that series is called, that spinoff to Young Sheldon. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm missing. I don't think there is. I think other than I feel like the comedy worked. Again, everybody's sense of humor is going to be different, so you may laugh here and there, or you may laugh throughout the entire film. It just really depends. But all in all, I think it did its job, and the soundtrack's great. Like I said, the cameos blended really well. It wasn't clustered. Excuse me. Of course, Sandler's kid, his other daughter, shows up in this, as well as his wife. If you've been watching Adam Sandler films for a long time, you will know that his wife, his real life wife, tends to have small appearances in his films since Big Daddy, actually. I think that's where they met. So since Big Daddy and on, I believe she's been in pretty much every film, just about. So it's nice to see her. Ben Stiller returns. And yeah, I just like the references, because you get a lot of flashback scenes, and you get this opportunity to see a lot of the actors who are no longer with us in some way get screen time in this. So I thought that was pretty awesome to see. And I can't remember the actor's name. Is it Michael McDonald, who plays is it Michael McDonald, or I believe I can't remember exactly. The actor who plays Shooter, it was great to see him return. I didn't realize that he's in his 70s, and he's in fantastic shape. He aged very well, and to see him return in this was really, really great. But my only minor complaint is I wish he would have gotten a little bit more to do. Get an opportunity to see him, play some golf, and to see them team up together, I thought was a nice little touch there, rather than kind of recycling them going against each other, because you kind of get that impression, but throughout as the film progresses, you kind of realize that's not the case. So yeah, all in all, I think it's a fun movie. I think it worked. I feel like, even though it was a long awaited sequel and took over 25 years, give or take, is it 25 years? I think I yeah, 25 years. So I think, it is it 25 or is it 30? Man, at this point, I can't ever remember. It's at that point. At this point, you just can't remember if it was 25 or 30. My math isn't mathing, but nonetheless, all in all, I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was really good. Better than some Sandler films, to say the least. But I wish I could say more. If you guys have seen this movie, let me know what your thoughts are down in the description. Wow, I'm tired. If you guys have seen this movie, and no, let's pause, let's rewind it. All right, if you've seen the movie, comment down below what your thoughts are there. That's what I was trying to say. I would love to hear your guys' opinion on what your thoughts were. And if you enjoyed my review and my thoughts on this movie, then give it a thumbs up. It's very, very much appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content. We're getting close to 300 movie reviews. Actually, we might be at 300 or a little over or close. One of those two. I don't know. We'll find out when I do my next movie review. But in the meantime, you guys have a good one. Take care. Watch some movies and let me know what you're watching this week. If there's anything that stands out, or a film that you're looking forward to or revisiting that you haven't watched in a long time, let me know. Would love to hear it. But with that being said, I'm Film Talk with Mikey. Until next time, we'll talk films. You guys have a good one. Take care, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Peace.